March 27, 1977. A quiet Sunday morning on a Spanish island would become aviation's darkest hour. At Los Rodeos Airport, the fog wasn't just weather, it was a predator waiting to strike. Captain Jacob van der Zee, one of KLM's most decorated pilots, faced a dilemma. His crew was approaching maximum duty hours. Every minute of delay increased the pressure.
Look at that traffic, Captain. We're completely boxed in. I see it. Let's keep a close watch.
Meanwhile, aboard Pan AM 1736, Captain Robert Grimes navigated an airport never designed for this traffic. The single taxiway was blocked. They would have to taxi on the active runway itself. The control tower operated with minimal staff, overwhelmed by diverted flights. The controller couldn't see the runway. He was flying blind, guiding aircraft he couldn't see, through fog he couldn't penetrate. At 4:45 p.m., KLM 4805 began taxiing. The fog was so thick the pilots could barely see the runway edge lights. They were navigating by instruments alone, trusting technology over human vision.
We are running out of daylight. Confirm runway clearance.
17:05:30, runway occupied.
Time became the enemy. KLM's crew faced mandatory rest requirements. If they didn't depart soon, they'd be grounded until tomorrow. The pressure to leave mounted with each passing minute.
Pan Am 747, hold your position. Visibility is dropping rapidly.
Pan AM 1736 received instructions to taxi down the runway and exit at the third taxiway. But in the fog, finding those exits would prove nearly impossible. They were now two jumbo jets, sharing one runway, blind to each other. Captain van der Zee was a legend. 20,000 flight hours. But even legends are human. The desire to complete the mission, to get his passengers home, began to cloud his legendary judgment. Unbeknownst to both crews, they were now on a collision course. The runway was a tunnel of white, and they were two trains heading toward each other in the dark. Neither could see the other. Neither knew what was coming.
Tower, this is approach. Potential conflict bearing 030. Request immediate vectoring. We're losing separation. Immediate vector now.
The controller saw the danger on his radar. But radar in 1977 was primitive. It showed position, not intention. He tried to warn them, but the radio frequency was jammed with transmissions. His warning would never get through.
Kapitein, weet u het zeker?
In the KLM cockpit, a deadly silence fell. The first officer had concerns, but speaking up against a captain of van der Zee's stature? That culture hadn't changed yet. Hierarchy would prove deadlier than fog.
Kapitein, de dynamic flight, is dat wel verstandig?
Can you see the third exit? No, I can't.
Pan AM struggled to find their exit. The fog had erased all landmarks. They passed the first taxiway, then the second. Still searching for the third, they continued down the runway, deeper into danger. And then the fatal glitch. Two transmissions occurred simultaneously. The KLM crew heard only a 3-second burst of static. That static masked a critical warning that could have saved 583 lives. Captain van der Zee believed he had clearance. He was wrong. But in that moment, certainty overrode caution. His hand moved to the throttles. There would be no going back.
I'm advancing the throttles now.
The engines roared to life. Four Pratt and Whitney turbines,
Engines at full power.
each producing 46,000 pounds of thrust. The 747, weighing 600,000 pounds, began its takeoff roll, but the runway was not clear.
Do you hear that?
In the Pan AM cockpit, they heard it, the unmistakable sound of another jet engine. But through the fog, sound was deceptive. Was it behind them? Beside them? There was no time to determine. KLM reached V1 speed, the point of no return. They were committed to takeoff. Pan AM, realizing danger, made a desperate turn, but the runway was too narrow.
KLM, abort takeoff, hold short.
Pan Am, unauthorized departure. Return to tarmac.
Mayday. Negative. Systems are failing.
The first officer saw it first. A shape in the fog. Massive. Impossibly close. He tried to warn the captain, but the words caught in his throat. Sometimes, the human mind needs a moment to process the impossible. Two Boeing 747s, each longer than a football field, each weighing more than an elephant herd, on a collision course at 160 miles per hour, in dense fog, with less than 10 seconds to impact. The controller watched his radar screen. Two contacts became one. He knew. Before the impact, before the fire, before the screams, he knew. And there was absolutely nothing he could do. Inside Pan Am's cabin, 396 souls.
We're gonna hit it!
Business
Brace for
people,
impact!
families, tourists. None had signed up for
what
this.
is that?
In their final moments,
Get down,
some
get
would
down
show
now.
extraordinary courage. Others would
Oh my
simply
God, look
vanish,
out!
unaware of what hit them. Captain Vander Zee's realization came too late. The weight of 248 lives, his crew, his passengers, all rested on a misunderstanding.
We're too low.
In that
Pull
final
up.
second, the legendary pilot was just a man who made a fatal mistake. If the Pan AM had taken the third exit, if the KLM had waited for confirmation, if the fog had lifted for just 10 seconds, if the radio transmission hadn't been blocked, so many ifs, so many lives. At 5:06 p.m. and 32 seconds, the distance closed to zero. The KLM's landing gear struck first, then the starboard engines, then 600,000 pounds of aluminum and fuel met with catastrophic force. The impact unleashed energy equivalent to a small nuclear device. Metal screamed. Fuel ignited. What had been two magnificent machines became a pyre of destruction in less than a second. When the smoke cleared, the statistics of hell emerged. All 248 aboard KLM perished instantly. Of Pan Am's 396, only 61 would survive. 583 souls extinguished in less time than it takes to brew a
We're
cup
almost
of
there.
coffee.
Keep climbing.
Help me! Please help me! Give me your hand. You have to push through. I can't move! It's stuck! Almost there. Just a little further.
Sir, look at me. You need to talk to us.
What is it? Just tell us what you see. Talk to us. What is it?
We need a status update now. What's happening?
This proves it. Look at the timeline. It's impossible otherwise. Your timeline is based on assumptions, not facts. This photograph changes everything.
We cannot ignore the connections here.
Your people are deliberately withholding information.
Do not accuse us of obstruction. The error is clearly on the Spanish side.
The investigation revealed uncomfortable truths. Spanish authorities blamed the KLM captain. Dutch investigators cited miscommunication. But the real culprit was a system that allowed human error to become catastrophe.
We are now at takeoff. Stand by for takeoff, I will call you. We are now at takeoff.
Stand by for takeoff. I will call you.
The phrase that killed 583 people. We are now at takeoff. Did it mean we are taking off, or we are ready for takeoff? In aviation, ambiguity is death. That day, ambiguity reigned.
We remember them with honor and sorrow.
We miss them so much.
Captain, I think we should check that altitude constraint again.
You're absolutely right. Great catch.
From the ashes of Tenerife rose a new philosophy: crew resource management. No longer would the captain be God. Junior officers were empowered to speak up. Hierarchy gave way to teamwork. Lives would be saved. Standard phraseology became law. The word takeoff could only be used for clearance. No more ambiguity. No more assumptions. Every word mattered. Every transmission was life or death.
KLM 422, hold position.
Holding short, KLM 422.
Ground radar now tracks aircraft on runways. Controllers see what they couldn't see in 1977. Technology can't eliminate human error, but it can provide the safety net that was missing that foggy Sunday. For the survivors, Tenerife never ended. Every foggy day brings back memories. Every jet engine sound triggers panic. They survived, but part of them died on that runway. The lucky ones carry the heaviest burden. The Swiss cheese model was born from Tenerife. Disasters aren't caused by single failures, but by holes aligning. Block one hole, and catastrophe is averted. Safety is about creating layers of defense. Today's cockpits are democratic. Experience is respected, but not worshipped. A 25-year-old first officer can override a 60-year-old captain if safety demands it. Tenerife taught us that ego kills. Los Rodeos Airport still operates, now called Tenerife North. It's safer now, better equipped. The ghosts of 583 souls ensure that every controller, every pilot, remembers the cost of complacency. The memorial stands on Mount Mesa Mota, a stairway to heaven that leads nowhere, symbolizing lives cut short. 583 names, 583 stories, 583 reasons why aviation safety can never be taken for granted.
In memory of the 583 lives lost, may their deaths continue to save lives.
This cinematic thriller is a fictionalized account inspired by aviation's darkest day of Tenerife's Los Rodeos Airport at dawn, March 27, 1977.